Hey guys, so this is a tutorial about filling your cartridge. So there is already a video in the group page about how to get the air out of this product. So if you haven't seen that, then you need to go back to that. It talks about this is how you receive your cartridges when you order them, when you're doing the powdered mixes. Now, if you order a cartridge in the group page for a specific product, it will come filled. I'm only talking about for those of you who are mixing your own product. So your sterile cartridge comes in a product like this, and then there are steps, and there's a video on how to get the air out of your product. So you've got to get that. When you get the product and it's sterile, your gray plunger is at the bottom, and this is filled with air. You cannot put product in here with all this air in here, because this stopper will explode out of the bottom of your cartridge and all of your products will just be all over the place. And I know you guys pay too much money for that. So in the video, I did say that you needed to hold your cartridge on a level surface, on a hard surface and everything else. I also did say that you can only infuse up to 3 milliliters of product into that at one time, but I didn't show that specifically. So I'm coming back here to show you guys specifically. So I do have, you know, all the little things that I can fill these that keep these things from exploding out of the bottom. You guys don't have that privilege, okay? But before I got all those little tricks and tools, this was all I had, was just a flat surface, a flat, clean surface, okay? So this is going to be TRZ. This is a 50 milligram. There is 2.5 milliliters of water in here. I've already mixed everything up and it's ready to go into the syringe, okay? So keeping your vial on a hard surface, you're going to hold this down and you're just going to put the needle in the top of that, and you're going to tilt your needle so that this goes down the side of it, and it's going to go, and you want to go slowly. Don't push it quickly, you guys. You'll put too much air in here, you'll explode it, but you need to be paying attention to this, okay? So see, there's air at the top of that, so that plunger is reaching the bottom of that. Now I've reached the bottom and it's touching my table. If you are holding on to this and you're touching the table, you'll feel that resistance as you're putting that in there. So if you have more air in this and you keep trying to push that down, that's going to try to explode. It's going to try to push this rubber stopper off the bottom of this. So you do not want to do this. So now this is too much air in here. So I'm going to draw back. I'm going to make sure that my needle is out of it just enough, but still there's a little bit too much air in there. And I'm just going to draw up on this and pull back some of that air. But as you see, that stopper rises as you pull out some of that air. Okay? So you want to make sure that this is on a flat surface. You want to make sure that you've got something to hold this on there. It's really impossible to try to hold it like this with your thumb on the bottom and to do it like that. Now, you know, I'm a talented person. I can do that. It's not comfortable though. But I do have a gadget that holds this in place, but a hard surface. You just have to hold that in place, put that in there. Don't push it quickly. Angle your needle towards the side. If you just push, you know, if you put too much air and too much pressure in there, it's going to create a bunch of bubbles in your vial, which creates air. And once again, it has to displace the air, which is what we did when we moved the stopper all the way up to here. We were displacing the air out of that cartridge, okay? So then there was a lot of air in there because this reached the bottom. We don't need to have a whole lot of air. We need to have some air. That little bubble right there, you know, kind of looks like a level. I'm trying to keep this where you see like what you would see in a level. That's enough air in that vial. You don't have to get all the air out. I would suggest that you don't, because when you prime your pen, you do want to have a bubble of air in there. Otherwise your product's going to squirt all over the place. But I just wanted to show you, keep it on a hard surface when you're infusing. No more than 3 mLs at a time. Infuse it very slowly. Watch the amount of air that you have in it. And if you can't fit everything that you have in your syringe in there, don't worry about it. Save it. You know, you can always come back and add the rest of it in there after you take a dose or two out of it. Put it back into your vial instead of keeping it in your syringe. Put it back in your vial, store your vial in the refrigerator, put this cartridge in your pen, store your pen in the refrigerator. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and let me know.